Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, the microchip shortage is expected to continue until well into 2023. These are not my words. These are the words of experts in that field. One major supplier of less advanced microchips has stated that their entire projected output until sometime in mid-2023 has already been purchased. These less advanced chips are used in such consumer goods as low-end watches, calculators, internet-enabled devices such as refrigerators, and many of those are placed in vehicles. Modern vehicles have as many as 100 chips per vehicle due to all the sensors in those vehicles. Webcams and microphones contain such chips. Even my food dehydrator has at least one microchip because it has a simple touch screen control. Yes, touch screens of any kind require a microchip, at least one. The chip supplier did not state who their buyers are for very good reason. The buyers could be in any country for any purpose. Chances are there was a form of auction involved, so it's not likely most of them went to manufacturers of inexpensive consumer goods. Most likely would be high-end consumer items and military equipment manufacturers. No matter who the purchasers are, this leaves many manufacturers out in the cold for the rest of 2021, all of 2022, and at least part of 2023. Which means this will have a detrimental effect on retail sales and manufacturing. It will also have a negative effect on consumer pricing, leading to more inflation. New items, which can include any kind of microchips, will become more expensive or not be available at all. That means the price of used items will also increase. Many vehicles and consumer goods which require chips for repair will not be repaired, but sit and wait until the supply chain catches up. By that time, technological advances may leave many of those goods outdated and possibly so decayed that they can no longer be repaired at all. Manufacturers and investors during this time will still demand making the same or even higher profit margins, driving up prices even more, placing the expense of many items beyond the reach of lower to middle income consumers. This all leads into another issue. Manufacturers that cannot secure supplies of materials such as chips to produce items will not need workers to build those products. They will reduce staffing. Workers that have hours reduced or get laid off will be forced to incur more debt simply for survival. So even if or when the supply chain is restored, it is going to take years beyond 2023 for consumers to recover from debt enough for the retail market to also recover. This places a huge constraint on the entire economy. The inflation brought on by capitalist greed will be permanent. For years, at the very least, only those at the highest end of the income spectrum will be able to afford items which have been fairly basic items for quite some time, while other capitalists will still be profiting from the debt incurred at high interest rates. Many Americans still believe that America is going to build new microchip factories in record time. That's not going to happen. It takes years to build one microchip foundry. They are some of the most complex structures of modern times. In addition, they require massive amounts of clean water, water which is diverted from municipal and agricultural supplies. They use a huge amount of toxic chemicals which pose human and environmental dangers and must be properly disposed of. In addition, the government is suggesting federal funding for the construction of these factories, then handing those factories over to private corporations that incur none of the cost of infrastructure, yet collect all of the profits. In other words, the cost and dangers will be socialized, while the profits will be privatized. Is there a solution to this? Yes. Diplomacy would be a very good beginning. If we stop making other nations into adversaries, we would have far fewer concerns about security. We should definitely be building our own foundries, but they should be nationalized. Workers and engineers should be federal employees. In addition to having federal pay and benefits, they should be subject to security clearances to avoid all the risks involved in having numerous corporate for-profit entities involved in our national security infrastructure. Capitalists have no loyalty outside of their own greed. So, if they're not making enough money, which to a capitalist they are never making enough money, through legal means, they'll turn to illegal means. You think they won't sell their technology to other countries? They don't care. Meanwhile, taxpayers would not be paying for corporate welfare if we nationalize these foundries. We would not be paying for corporate welfare while also paying higher prices for the items produced. Throughout all of the above, we can expect to have shortages of many items while paying increasingly higher prices as a general rule for years to come. This doesn't just mean that only the electronics, that we pay more for electronics. Those chips are required for manufacturing equipment. If they have to pay more for the equipment to produce consumer goods, then who's going to pay the higher price? You are. Period. So that's going to continue for years. This is going to mean a decline in the standard of living. During this time, it is very likely that as a nation, we will continue to fall behind some other countries technologically, then economically, as some countries will continue to advance ahead of us and the quality of their products will exceed our own. This is a problem which was predictable and yet was left in the hands of capitalists who exported manufacturing and technological knowledge and capabilities to other countries rather than invest in American manufacturing and wages. Given the chance, they will continue doing this. And so this all could have been prevented. All of this could have been prevented. All of this was foreseeable. The problems that it is causing now, we can project out what the problems are and will be coming down the line. We can prevent those problems from becoming worse. Is that going to happen? No. We know that the problems that I just named are going to happen. We know that our government is going to hand money to corporations to build factories and then not require any kind of repayment. They are going to let these companies charge exorbitant prices once they do start producing things. We know these things. It's not a question. It is not a debate. We know how this works. We've watched it our entire lives. So, what do we do about it? I'm always saying that the best thing to do is to become active. Get on the phone, write emails, attend protests, share information, talk about these things. Talk about these subjects. Share this video. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one. For as long as I still have a working computer and camera and all that kind of stuff, I'll still be doing this. So until I just, all the chips burn out. All right, so anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day.